fine. I
Yeah,
am a bit anxious because I fear some retaliation.
that would be really
Maybe.
scary.
Yes, but um, I guess everything is going to be okay. Because I took a test to get this job and I have stability. So
That's great.
yes, as a civil servant, I believe they cannot fire me. Therefore, the strike um, is protected by the syndicate, you know?
Okay, so the strike is protected by the syndicate. Okay,
Yes, they've been behind us, right?
nice. Well, that's good. Yeah, hopefully everything works out. Um, Amp, I know my microphone is really quiet. I can't really do much about it right now. I'm not sure why it does this, but recently it's been occasionally starting out really quiet. Um, and you do, hopefully, this works out. Amp, how's it going?
Hi, teacher. Doing well.
That's good to hear. And Amp, what have you done today?
Not much. Just taking breakfast. I had my breakfast. Feed my sister's dog.
Okay,
Yeah, not much.
all right, nice. And do you have any plans for the rest of the day?
What?
Sorry, do you have any plans for the rest of the day?
Not much. No, just to study a little. No more.
Okay. Um, yeah, maybe it would improve if turn off the camera. We've also got Simone. Simone, how's it going?
Hi, hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Perfect. So Simone, how's your day been so far?
Same usual, very busy, but that's it. I am used to it.
Okay, so it's busy, but you're used to it. Okay,
Absolutely, yeah.
nice. And I use the laptops. The laptop's mic is a little bit. Hmm, can you hear me now?
Yes, I can.
Can hear. Fine, just fine.
Okay, so it's still not bad. All right. Natasha, how's it going?
Hello, Joshua. Hello, guys. I am fine, thank you. How are you today?
I'm doing pretty well. Thank you for asking. And Natasha, what have you been up to so far?
Sorry.
So what have you done today?
Oh, okay. I have had a nice day today. I have a rest because my students are have a rest too, and so I was at home and doing my home housework, doing my housework. Yes.
Okay. Okay, good. So doing housework, but not too much. Good. And Ken, how's it going?
Yes, I'm fine. How are you?
I'm doing really well. Thank you for asking. And Ken, what have you done today?
I have I just finished my dinner.
Nice. How was it?
It was a bit oily, but yeah, I'm full now.
Okay.
I ate tempura today, so a lot, so it's a bit oily. But
All right.
anyway, I'm full.
Okay. Well, I guess being full is the most important, but yeah, oily dinners I guess aren't the best. Um, Halim, how's it going?
Very well, thanks for asking. How about you?
I'm doing really well. Thanks for asking. Um, and so Halim, what have you been up to today?
I'm staying at home because I have a flu.
Okay. And are you feeling a little bit better?
Yes, yes, it's going well, huh?
Okay. Well, hopefully, yeah, continue feeling better. Um, and Herman, yeah, how's it going?
Hey, Joshua, I'm fine. Thanks for asking.
Nice. Good to hear. Um, and Herman, what about you? What have you done today? What are you planning on doing with the rest of the day?
Nothing interesting. I just went to the gym and had breakfast, and for the rest of the day, I'm going to take more lessons. Just that.
Okay. All right. Sounds like a good day. Um,
hmm
and today we are going to um, and let's start with Simone. Can you read the question and the first part? Answer.
Okay, what would the world be like if the land masses were spread out the same way as now, only rotated by an angle of 90 degrees? Profoundly alter our biosphere in general and public radio in particular.
Good. Land masses.
What is that? Okay, land masses.
Yeah, land masses. And then rotated.
Rotated.
Okay, rotated. Um, and Halim cannot see the text. I'm not sure. Halim, are you clicking on my name at the bottom of the page here? Does that help? Or can you still not
Yeah,
see it?
yes, I have done it, but nothing.
Okay, maybe I can try to take it.
Sorry, I don't hear you. No,
Can
no,
you see it now?
no.
Help? Can you not see it?
Hi, teacher. My connection dropped.
Don't worry. It's nice to have you back. So Halim, AMP says if you click on somebody else's icon and then back to my icon, that might help.
Okay.
Any luck? Halim?
I hear you.
Yeah, do you have
But
any luck? Can you see it now or no?
no, 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 no.
All right. So if you go to that website in the chat box, that's the page that we're going to be reading.
Okay,
So that might help.
okay.
And Natasha, can you read
Yes.
this next paragraph?
Okay. Sok asked what would happen if the Earth's surface were slid around by 90 degrees, putting our current north and south poles on the equator. We are not changing the tilt of the Earth's axis. We are just imagining that the surface were arranged differently.
Okay, nicely done.
Slide? Yeah, slide?
Slid.
Slid.
So
Slid.
the Earth's surface were slid around.
Slid.
And then equator,
Equator,
nice. Axis,
axis,
and then surface.
surface.
Nice. Good. Okay. Any
Thank you.
questions? Does anybody have any questions about what this is talking about? Yeah, so Ana Carolina, what doesn't seem to make sense?
I'm sorry, I don't fully get it, teacher. Oh my gosh. The question. Um, they mean um, if everything was the same, but Upside down?
Yeah, so everything was the same except for tilted. So they took the North Pole and they moved it here. So everything just turns. Does that make
Okay,
sense?
thank you. Yes.
Okay. Any other questions? Okay. And Halim, are you still with us?
Yes, I hear you.
Okay. And Halim, can you try to read this next paragraph? Okay. And actually, before you do that, Halim, let's look at axis. Does anybody know what axis means?
Yes.
Imaginary line.
Yeah, so an imaginary line. Anything else other than an imaginary line?
From the North Pole to the South Pole.
Yeah, so that could be an axis from the North Pole to the South Pole. So pretty much about of the line around which something rotates would be an axis. Also, tilt. Does anybody know what tilt means?
Kind of, how can I say, tilt, 90% or 80% to such kind of angle.
Yeah.
Angle change, maybe, yeah.
Yeah, so an angle that's not right. So this would be a tilt, the Earth's tilt. So the North Pole and the South Pole. So the Earth is on a tilted axis. It's not on a straight up and down axis. It's kind of tilted. Does that make sense, Ana Carolina?
Yes, thank you.
Okay. And Halim, can you start the next paragraph that says we'll pick up the Greenwich? The Greenwich? Halim?
Can you?
I can hear you now. Are you there?
Yes, yes, but I don't have the next paragraph. Even there, yes, yes. Droppings. If you want, yes. Huh?
It wouldn't be droppings. It'd be the Cassini. Oh shoot. Yeah. I think I gave you the right one. So if you go, maybe hit previous. That's not
Yes, but
droppings.
yes,
Okay. So
I will try, but
hit previous. It should be the previous one, or you can. Let's move on. Herman, can you read the next paragraph?
Cassini.
Okay. Okay. Well, pick the Greenwich meridian of our new equator, putting the new north and south poles in the Indian Ocean on 90E and off the coast of Ecuador on 90W. India, Indonesia, and Ecuador will become polar, while Europe, Antarctica, and Alaska will become tropical.
Okay, good. Meridian. Can you repeat meridian?
Meridian.
Yeah, so this is 0 degrees north, 90 degrees east.
Is 0 degrees north?
Yeah, 0 degrees north, 90 degrees
Okay.
west.
Okay.
And AMP, thank you for that. That was a really good idea. I kind of feel silly for not thinking of that. Jose Luis, how's it going?
Good morning. It's okay. And with you?
Okay, I'm doing well, thanks.
Okay.
And Halim, are you still with us?
I'm with you, Joshua, but I have a problem. I can't read the Cassini because uh,
Okay. Can you see the
I
chat
have
box?
just I have just the line begin with the sock ask ask what would happen if the Earth surface were slide.
Okay. It might be your connection. Can you see the chat box? So the chat box, the group chat box? Maybe not. Anna Catalina, can you read this next part?
Yes, but there is a noise.
Yeah, I think I got it.
Okay. Where would the deserts, sorry,
Nice.
where would the deserts and forests be? What areas would get better or worse? This stuff is complicated. In a moment, we will start using wild speculation to reshape the face of the planet. But first, a brief story to illustrate just how mind-boggling complicated this stuff is. What is bogglingly?
Boggling.
Boggling.
Yeah, so mind-bogglingly. Does anybody know what mind-bogglingly might mean?
Mind-bogglingly.
I think that what blocks the mind, confusing. I think.
Boggling.
Yeah. So if something is boggled, it's like mixed up or confused or something along those lines. I'm sorry. Jose Luis, yeah, just gonna mute you. Yeah, so boggling is just confusing, extraordinary, kind of shaken up. And so if something is boggling your mind, what is that noise? So something is mind-boggling. It's just like unbelievable. So yeah, something that's so crazy that it changes the way that you think. It mixes up the way that you think. Okay, and does that make sense? Mind-bogglingly?
Yes. Could I pronounce again?
Yeah, bogglingly.
Bogglingly.
Good. And speculation.
Speculation.
Yeah, speculation. Okay. And Amp, can you read this next part?
In Chad, on the southern outskirts of the Sahara, there's a valley called the Bodili Depression. It was once a lake bed, and the dry dust is all nutrient-rich matter from the microorganisms that lived there.
Okay. I lost kind of part of what you said, so can you repeat this last part, Amp?
Oh, okay. Valley floor is full of nutrient-rich matter from the microorganisms that lived there.
Okay. Microorganisms.
Microorganisms.
So that's a tough one to type. Microorganisms. And nutrient?
Nutrient.
Outskirts.
Outskirts.
Good. Okay. And really nice job. Ken, can you read the next part?
Okay. From October to March, winds coming in from the east are pinched between two mountain ranges. When the surface winds climb over 20, I'm not sure, meter per hour, they start picking up dust from the valley. The dust is blown westward, all the way across Africa, and out over the Atlantic.
Good. Miles per hour.
Miles per hour.
Yeah. And other than that, you did a good job. Nice work with your like ED endings with pinched, mountain ranges. You did it. Sounded pretty good. Does anybody have any questions?
Yes. How can I place pinch?
Okay. So do you know what it means to pinch, just generally?
I know when
Okay.
you hurt someone by squeezing,
Yeah. Yeah.
but
So
I don't know how can I place pinch.
so the winds are pinched by the place. So we've got something being pinched and then the pinching things. What do you think it means that the mountain ranges pinch the wind? What do you think that means, Ana Carolina?
I'm not sure. Maybe the wind cannot blow there.
Sort of. Does anybody think they could explain it?
Maybe the two mountains, wind flew through the two mountains, so it's narrow space, so wind getting stronger because of that.
Yeah. Exactly. So if we've got two mountains or two mountain ranges that get narrower, so I'm trying to get like a good picture. So the wind will come in. I wish I could draw it too. I can't draw it on this. All right. See? Okay, so you've got two mountain ranges, so pretend my arms are mountain ranges, and the wind is coming from down, and the mountain ranges kind of pinch in like this. So they just get narrower, and so all the wind that's wide gets pinched down into a narrow spot, and when it's coming out, it's just a lot faster because it's kind of pinched and it's focused into one area. Does that make sense, Ana Carolina?
Yes. Thank you.
Okay. And I think we're with Simone, can you read the next two paragraphs? Can everybody hear me?
Yes.
Now,
Yes.
yes.
Yes, yes.
Crystal clear.
Yes, yes.
Perfect. And yeah,
That's
Halim,
okay.
can you try this next one?
Okay. That dirt from one small valley in Chad supplies over 50% of the nutrient-rich dust that helps fertilize the Amazon rainforest.
And the next one?
At least according to that one study, but if it's right, it wouldn't be a crazy anomaly. This kind of complexity is found everywhere. The basic building blocks of our world are crazy.
Good. Okay, so a couple things. Fertilize. Fertilize.
Fertilize,
Amazon.
Amazon,
Complexity.
complexity,
Basic.
basic.
Good. Okay. And yeah, I think that's pretty straightforward. Does anybody have any questions so far?
I have one, but
Okay.
it's about geography, because I thought the Amazon is in Brazil,
It is.
but Chad is in Africa,
Yeah, so what they say is when the
and the
surface
wind
wind
is very
um,
strong.
when it climbs over 20 miles per hour, they start picking up dust from the valley. So the dust is just kind of goes up into the atmosphere, and then yeah, just because of the way that the weather moves,
Ah,
yeah.
okay, I understand. Thanks.
But yeah, pretty incredible. Um, Any other questions? Okay, Simone, can you try this next part?
Hi.
Hi.
Oh yeah, sorry. Wait.
Yes. So starting why, this is why. Hmm. Maybe not, Simone. I don't know. Maybe your connection is a little bit slow. But Natasha, can you read the next part? Natasha?
Yes, 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 I'm sorry. This is why we can be so certain about large-scale patterns like global warming, where we understand the overall physics pretty well. Energy comes in, less energy goes out, so the average temperature rises, but have a harder time predicting how it will affect any particular place or specific species. I don't know.
It's a tough one. Species.
Species. Okay, thank you.
Average?
Average.
Close. That's 2 syllables. So instead of saying average, we just say average.
Okay,
Average.
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 Close. Average.
Average. Average.
Yeah. Try to remove that E more. So average.
Average.
Good.
Mm-hmm.
And patterns.
Patterns.
Good. Certain.
Certain.
And I think,
Certain.
yeah, I think that's good. Nice job.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. And Jose Luis, can you read the next part?
So, if I were a climate expert, which I'm definitely not, there'd be no way to answer this question with certainty. There are just too many variables. Instead, think of what follows as a rough sketch of some of the things this alternate Earth could contain. To start, here's a map of our reshuffled world.
Okay, good. Reshuffled.
Reshuffled. And to start, there's a map of our reshuffled world.
Nice. Could.
Sorry? Could?
Yeah, so could contain.
Could, okay, could contain. Okay.
Variables.
Variables.
And certainty.
Certainty. Certainty.
Yeah. Okay. Perfect. And this is the map of the world that would be, turned on its 90-degree axis. So let's have Harim. Can you read this next part? Halim? All right, Herman.
I'm here. An equirectangular projection, by the way, this type of equirectangular projection centered on a north-south meridian instead of the equator is specifically called a Cassini projection. So a good name for our alternate Earth might be Cassini.
Okay. And let's look at equirectangular. Equirectangular. Yeah, I think it'd be equirectangular.
Correctangular.
Yeah,
equirectangular.
There. Something like that. And then meridian.
Meridian,
Uh-huh. And then equator.
equator.
Good. Okay, yeah. And Herman, can you read the next one?
Okay. Let's imagine that this alternate Earth develops over millions of years, with ecosystems and climate zones setting out. Then one day we wake up to find our current civilization has been magically transported, their cities and all. What would they find?
Okay, good. So are magically transported there. Transported.
Transported.
Nice. And then settling.
Selling.
Settling.
Settling.
Good. Ecosystems.
Ecosystems.
Good. Okay. Well done. Does anybody have any questions so far? Okay. Ana Carolina. Oh, yeah,
Okay.
what's up?
Settling out.
Okay, does anybody know what settling out means?
I know settling.
Like, kind of becoming stable, settling down, settling out. Yeah, same thing.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. And can you read the next two paragraphs?
Sure. The climate on the rotated Earth, which depends heavily on the details of ocean and atmospheric heat circulation. We'll get at some of that, but for now, let's assume this world has extremes which are similar to ours.
Good.
So,
Oh, sorry, keep going.
I'm sorry. So, let's add some ice and permafrost near the poles and in mountainous areas.
Mountainous.
Mount, mountainous, mountainous areas.
And then atmospheric.
Atmospheric.
Good. Atmospheric. Okay.
Atmospheric.
Good job. And any other questions? Any questions so far?
Permafrost.
Okay. Does anybody know what permafrost is?
Is they frozen?
It's frost, yeah. What kind of frost is it?
Always frost.
Yeah, so it's a place that's always frozen, so it doesn't ever melt. Does that make sense, Ken?
Yes, thank you.
Okay. Any other questions? Okay. And let's have Amp. Can you read these next two paragraphs?
Next, we should fill in some green areas and desert. The locations of these depend heavily on rainfall, so we'll need to sketch out some winds. The main driver of our weather is the sun, which heats air near the equator more than at the poles. Hot air rises at the equator and then floats poleward, and cooler air move across the surface toward the equator. This circulation is called a Hadley sail.
Yeah. Really good job. Really great reading. Flows.
Flows.
Poleward.
Poleward.
Okay. Perfect. Other than that, you did a really good job. Any questions here?
Yes. Sketch out. Poleward.
Sketch out? Yeah.
And poleward.
And poleward. Okay. Does anybody know what sketch out means? Any ideas?
Maybe simulation, making simulation?
Yeah. So what's it mean to sketch something?
Draw.
Yeah, it's to draw it. Is it to take a lot of time drawing it and like make it super accurate?
Mm-hmm.
It's generally like a basic drawing. So yeah, so if you say you want to sketch something out, it's just to get a basic outline of what's going to happen or what you're drawing. So sketch is just a rough guess, estimate, or something like that. Does that make sense? Okay, so yeah, sketch, basic drawing. And pole word? What about pole word? Does anybody know?
Maybe towards to the North Pole or South Poles.
Exactly. So toward the poles, the North Pole or the South Pole, in that direction. Any other questions? Okay. And so yeah, these are some Hadley cells. So just the way that the air and the wind moves. Okay. And let's have Ken. Can you read the next paragraph?
Okay. Hadley cells shift north and south of the equator with the seasons. At this time of year on our Earth, the sun is directly overhead at about 10 degrees north, which is why hurricanes are forming near near that latitude right now.
And yeah, so I think that's a little bit off. That's not where we are right now. But yeah, near that latitude. Maybe latitude?
Latitude.
Latitude, good. Okay. Yeah, well done, Ken.
Thank you.
Natasha, can you read the next part?
Yes, of course. Because of the Coriolis effect, the surface winds in the Hadley cell flow from east to west. Further north, for most of the temperature zones, the prevailing surface winds are west to east. At times there are also east-to-west winds circulation around the poles.
Nice. Circulating.
Circulating.
Oh, circulating. Circulating.
Circulating.
Yeah, circulating. Prevailing.
Prevailing.
Temperate.
Temperate.
Okay. Well done.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. Temperate. Yes?
Yeah, temperate. Temperate.
Mm-hmm. Temperate. Mm-hmm.
But good. All right, and oh, Coriolis, the Coriolis effect.
Sorry, can you read one more?
Yeah, the Coriolis effect. The Coriolis.
Coriolis effect. Yes?
Yeah.
Coriolis. Thank you.
Definition in the chat box for you. And welcome to class, Min. Min, how's it going?
Yeah, fine, thank you. Yeah, can you hear me?
Good. Good to hear. Yeah, I can hear you. Welcome to class.
Thank you.
Yeah. And Jose Luis, can you read the next part?
So let's fill in some wind patterns, keeping in mind that in reality, things would be further complicated by land interactions and the location of persistent high and low pressure systems.
Okay. So it's a little bit difficult to hear you. I'm not sure if that was just me.
No. So I'll read again. So let's
Okay.
fill in some wind patterns, keeping in mind that in reality, things would be further complicated by land interactions and the location of persistent high and low pressure systems.
Nicely done. Okay. Wind. Wind.
Wind.
And complicated.
Complicated.
Yeah. So just the intonation on that word, but really nicely done. Okay. And so this is kind of like a wind map that they're talking about. Halim, can you read the next part?
Yes, sinking air is cool and dry, so land under the outer edge of the Hadley cells tends to be arid. These regions, lying a bit forward of 30 degrees, are known as the horse latitudes.
Okay. Nicely done. There's the Hadley. Arid. Can you repeat arid?
Arid.
And so land under the outer edges. So land under the outer edges.
Sorry?
Can you repeat? So land under the outer edges.
So land under the outer edges.
Good. Okay. Better. And let's have... Actually, Halim, go ahead and read this next one too.
Okay. The rising air at the equator carries moisture from the ocean, which then condenses into rain, so tropical areas are usually wet and thick with dew. Areas near the equator are sometimes dominated by a seasonal monsoon cycle.
Okay. Monsoon.
Monsoon.
Yeah. Good. And moisture.
Moisture.
It's got more of a chur. Moisture.
Moisture.
Good. Okay. Well done. And Herman, can you read the next two?
In temperate zones, things are more variable. Weather there is dominated by the movement of jet streams and fronts and depends heavily on geography. Most of the United States is in this type of region. With all that in mind, let's fill in some arid and large areas.
Nice. Can you repeat arid?
Arid.
Yeah, and lush.
Lush.
And then region.
Region.
There. So the weather there.
Weather there.
Yeah. Weather there. And what was the other one? Temperate. Temperate.
Temperate.
Yeah, so temperate. Just two syllables. In temperate zones. Good.
Temperate zones.
And so this is like maybe a basic idea of what it's going to look like. And Ana Carolina, can you read this next part?
Climate can be hard to predict. For example, in our world, Somalia and French Guiana both sit on the equator, at the eastern coast of a continent, and seem like they should both receive a tropical sea breeze. But coastal French Guiana is dense rainforest, while coastal Somalia and is an arid desert. Is an arid desert. The explanation involves the monsoon cycle.
Okay, the explanation involves the monsoon cycle.
the explanation involves the monsoon cycle.
Good. Somalia.
Somalia,
Yeah. Equator.
Ecuador,
Yeah, equator. Okay.
Ecuador.
You did a really good job with French Guiana. Yeah. Okay, well done. And actually, just read that next one too.
And just for fun, here's a wide guess as to where the hurricane basins would be.
Good. And so yeah, that's kind of just again. Guess. Any questions here before we move on? Okay. And Amp, can you read until the end of North America?
Okay, let's take a closer look at each continent. North America has a range of climate similar to what it had before, but flipped north-south. The Arctic Canadian provinces are now tropical, while Central America is icy and polar. Hurricanes threaten Greenland, Baffin Island, and the Maritime. Tropical moisture from Baffin Bay and the northwest, formerly North Atlantic, mixed with cool air flowing down through the U.S. from the Rockies, creating a new tornado alley in the prairies inland from Hudson Bay.
Good. Create a new tornado alley in the prairies inland from Hudson Bay. Maybe inland from Hudson Bay?
Inland from Hudson Bay.
Good. The Maritimes?
Maritime.
Yeah. Other than that, I think you did a really good job.
Thank you.
Okay. And so again, this is North America. We're talking about like that sort of tornado plane. But good. And let's look at the next one. Ken, can you read about South America?
Okay. South America looks sort of like the old Europe. It's cool and temperate along the Brazilian coast, with boreal forest and grasslands across much of its width. In the south, the boreal vegetation gives way to polar tundra, and eventually to the massive ice-bound Andes, which cuts the continent off from the frozen polar waters. The Amazon, which in our world carries more water than the next 7 largest rivers put together, is reduced to something akin to the Mississippi.
Okay. Akin.
Akin.
So something akin to the Mississippi. Maybe tundra.
Tundra.
Yeah. Really nice job with boreal. Good pronunciation as well. That sounded great. And
What is boreal?
Boreal? Does anybody know what a boreal forest is?
Yes,
Okay, can you explain?
I will try. Oh my gosh, why I said that um well it's a kind of vegetation from the septentrional north. Um, it is. Oh my gosh! It is. mm, my gosh! It's from the north,
Uh-huh,
and
yeah.
the I know that the boreal aurora has a lot of lights. Um, there is a magnetic camp there.
Yeah, so if we're looking at boreal forests, you're talking about this part of the world.
And
So,
the
yeah.
forest there has pines, kinds
Yep.
of pines.
Evergreen trees, for sure. So all different types of coniferous trees. So trees with cones, like pine cones and stuff like that. So these are all, yeah, pictures of coniferous forests. Boreal forests, I guess. And good. Good question, Ken. Any other questions? Okay. And let's look at the next part. Natasha, can you read the next one?
Asia is flipped in the same way North America was, with the Siberian coast facing an enclosed tropical sea. The Indian subcontinent and North, formerly Southeast Asia from the New Siberia. The Gobi Desert is no longer in the rain shadow of the Himalayas, but doesn't exactly become tropical.
Yeah, Himalayas.
Himalayas,
Subcontinent.
subcontinent.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think you did a good job there, though. So again, looking back at this map, so we're looking at Asia, relatively speaking. Okay, and let's have Jose Luis. Can you read about Europe?
Just a minute. Europe resembles the old Southeast Asia. Great Britain and Ireland look like the Indonesian island of Sumatra and Borneo. Iceland resembles our Philippines. Central Europe is the New Guinea, with the Alps, the only place on the equator with permanent glaciers.
Yeah, good. Central Europe is the New Guinea. Can you repeat the New Guinea?
New Guinea.
Yeah. Glaciers.
Glaciers.
Borneo. I think it's Borneo, although I could be wrong on that. So, Sumatra and Borneo.
Sumatra and Borneo.
Yeah. And what was the other one? Islands. Yeah, good correction. Can you repeat islands?
Islands.
Yeah, islands. Okay, well done. And Khalim, can you read about Africa?
Yes, of course. Africa is rotated 90 degrees with south, formerly West Africa, becoming tropical rainforest, and north, formerly East Africa, and arid desert. On our Earth, North America is the only continent where tornadoes are common, but in this world, they are frequent in East Africa as well.
Okay, frequent.
Sorry, frequent.
In East Africa.
In East Africa.
Arid.
Arid.
Okay. Yeah, I think you did a good job. Any questions here? Okay. And we're with Herman. Can you read about Australia and Antarctica?
Okay. Australia is cooler and wetter, with forests across the northern, firmly western regions. Antarctica is clear winter. Without its ice cap, it's a bit smaller than we remember, but most of it is blanketed with highland rainforest. There are alpine zones around the mountains to the south and west. The researchers at McMurdo and Scout Base on Ross Island wake up to tropical paradise. If any of them find the frozen westlands, they can always put in for a transfer to Costa Rica.
Nice. Wastelands.
Wasteland.
Yeah. I think you did a good job. Good pronunciation.
Thanks.
Okay. And So yeah, again, this is kind of what we're all looking like in the world. And we are just out of time. So I've got another class right after this. If you guys want to join, I'd love to see you. Yeah, but if not, have a really good day, and thanks for coming in.
Thank you, teacher. Take care.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.
Thanks,
Bye.
Netra.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
See you.
Eu tava com muito sono. Putz.